Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. I am your host Dave here at the Arizona Model Shop, and I'm going to be doing a inbox review of the Queen Elizabeth class 1350 HMS Warspite. One of my favorite British ships. Had a storied and awesome history. Looks like it's going to be a good little kit. I will go over the frets, the hull, and the instructions and make some recommendations after reviewing it. So let's get started. First off, we have, this is a double-sided page with the paint scheme, not in color, but it does list the paint scheme in the instructions, including the aircraft. And then on this side, it has your parts list. Even though they are numbered on here, A, B, C, and D, or B, C, D, E, and F, there is no markings on the frets. They're just numbers, so I would definitely recommend taking a piece of tape and marking your frets accordingly, B, C, D, E, and all that. There is a total of 7 frets and a 2-piece hull split down the middle. You get a base with multiple options to mount, and you get one little section of photo etch with the kit. Kind of chintzy on that. So that is the sheet for this. This is the instruction manual, and it is a trifold in 14 parts, as you can see. And the things on here are numbered with the F, so I would definitely do that tape trick and mark them accordingly for you. And then on the front right here is your paint code, what the colors are on the ship and the planes and all that. So that is the 14-part trifold instruction. Pretty straightforward. Looks good so far. And I'm going to go with the double fret first. So we have 2 of the same with the planes, boats, and miscellaneous items. The boats seem to have pretty good detail, so do the little pom-poms. Hopefully I can get in there and show you the pom-poms right here. Hopefully you can see that. They got some pretty good detail on. So does the deck plating right here. That'll focus on it. It's got like little tiny indents in there. The radars they're not solid like you would get in a Tamiya kit. They are individual. The planes have good detail on them. So do the boats. The planking, a little bit thick to my taste, but it's well marked. The 20mm gun shields in there look a little small and tiny. Inside the boats looks fairly decent wise for detail. So there's 2 frets of this, and I have not found where it has A, B, C, D, E, F, G yet. I don't see it anywhere. Lots of numbers, so I would definitely mark these with tape so you can find your parts. So that's a double fret. Next we'll go to, this looks to be mostly main superstructure. Get that out of the way. Main superstructure, some side, the mast. There are a ton of portholes that will have to be drilled out and fixed. There's virtually no flash on these that I've seen so far. The ventilator has actually got some really good detail in there, with the little grate on there. Some pretty good detail on that. I'm not surprised. The hatches all have some pretty good detail on them. Let's see if I can get that in there. Right there. Pretty good. Got all the little the dog locks and all that in there. So that's another fret, but like I say, there's nothing on here that marks which one it is. Which, first time I've seen that. We'll go to this one. This is another double one, and this is the first time I've seen this. You get the option of either doing a flat base to mount it on, but there's two small sections here, little holes right there and right there, where you can do these little things right here, right there, and then, or you can use that base right there, this round one. I would definitely put some weight, some heavy putty, or I don't know, whatever you got heavy would fit in there to keep it down so you don't knock your ship over. No flash on these that I've seen. Definitely want to replace the incline ladders with photo etch, of course. Everything looks crisp. Not a lot of, I don't see a lot of injection marks on these. That's a pretty stout thing for the propellers to hold it in there. Gun faces look good. The tops look good. I don't see any of that flash or lines through them. Molded on ladders will probably have to be sanded off and photo etch put on there because they do look a little small. This is a double set. Same thing on both those. The gun barrels are hollowed out at the ends, which is kind of nice, but I would definitely recommend maybe some nice stainless steel or turned brass ones would be awesome. Everything else looks good. Fairly well detailed. No flash. That's a good thing. And then we have the other fret with more superstructure parts. That I don't see any injection pin marks on the tops at all. Good detail on the hatches as usual. First one I've seen that actually has a nice top to the funnel. Get that in there for you. And I do see on this one right here where these boats go, there is some lines in here that will probably have to give a light sand and smooth out before you prime it and seal it. Two-piece stack. You're going to have to work that seam, and of course more portholes to drill out. First one I've seen with plastic molded chain that comes out separate from the deck without it molded on. If you want to get too creative, there's some windows on this one that you can get it over there, right there, that will have to be squared out if you want to go that far, or just painted black. More portholes. No flash on these whatsoever. Let's say vents look good, ventilators look good on the side of the ship, side of the superstructure, I'm sorry. And we'll come to the main. This one is the main deck of it, and your sign and all that. Let me zoom out a little bit. Get a little bit. There we go. Got the shafts, got the anchors. The decking is a little thick, wide for my taste. Definitely would recommend an aftermarket wooden deck. There's the sign, HMS Warspite. And then there is, well, these right here, these three are to reinforce the hull, which I'll get to here in a second. And I think that was our last one. Let's get to the hull. Okay, we got a nice big hull which I've taped together. This is a stout little hull. It's thick. There's no flashing on it. It is two pieces, you can see down the middle. So you're going to have to work that seam line on the bottom. There is a mold line that runs from the stern across here, goes through the skeg, through the torpedo blister, and out to right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. But there's one on each side that'll have to be sanded and smoothed. But I would definitely reinforce it this way, and I would reinforce the bottom with some thicker styrene, so when you are working your seam on the bottom, that you don't snap down and push and break that open, no matter how you glue it, with super glue or Tamiya glue. But it is a heavy little stout hull, and lots and lots of portholes to drill out. Maybe I'll call Charlie Mack and have him do it for me. But that's it. It's pretty much, this is what it is. I would definitely pardon me, recommend, like I say, a detail upset. I believe I saw one from Pontos, and I saw another one maybe from MK1 Mark 1 for this particular ship. It's the story behind that ship is pretty incredible, and what it went through during World War II. Like I say, there's 7 frets, there's 2-piece hull, there's one sheet with the parts, one sheet with the paint. There's a 14-part instruction sheet, and I would definitely recommend a detail upset. And somewhere I set the tiny little piece of photo etch they send you, which is basically just to replace the crane davits. I can't seem to find it. Great. Well, it's here somewhere. So that's my little page review or review of the HMS Warspite. If you do get a chance, check out the history of her. You'd be amazed what that ship went through and the longevity on it. Modified quite a bit from the time she was built. She was a veteran of Jutland and World War II, going from the North Atlantic to the Mediterranean to the Eastern Pacific, and then back, and actually got towed over and used as a bombardment ship during D-Day because she was damaged. So pretty neat history on it. Great little build. That is my review of it. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you on the next review.